Okay, let's all take a rest. I know you're real hard working at production there, so let's debrief a little bit here. While the customer is accepting the last of the aircraft, let's talk real briefly about what you experienced in this particular round. Got to have a question back there. And I just want to make a quick comment. You are a remarkably compliant group of people for a CEO conference. I mean, normally, if I'm working with a group of CEOs, I just, tell them to be quiet for a few minutes, and almost an impossibility. Just congratulations, you really worked. So far, you've really worked with me on that. Okay, yes, comment.
Yep, I was in the production line, so we were level load, and I noticed that I wanted the product to come to me a certain way, a certain angle for speed, and then I also noticed that every time I handed it off to my production team, he would flip it around the other way, and so there toward the end, I realized what I needed to be doing was handing it off a certain way. It just sped time.
Yeah, absolutely. Learning over time. Did the planning help? Another comment. I just have another comment over there, and then we'll take 2 more. Okay. Maybe just give him a different mic, please.
Okay. Hey, there we go. So yeah, the planning definitely helped. From a leadership perspective, things went much better. If we're not talking about the lean in the workflow, it took a little while to fill our pipeline because our whip was purged. But other than that, once we started going, our manager found that there was some flexibility we could introduce as she moved personnel around as needed, and everyone seemed to know their job, and I think we did pretty good. I think we made a pretty good improvement.
Yeah, just from the level of sound, it absolutely seemed that way to me. Yes.
We improved a lot. We had none the first time, but we made a first article, had it checked out, and then we knew we were good to go from there. So that was our biggest improvement.
Okay, very good, very good. One last comment? Was there one over? Okay, good. We're going to go and we're going to see what talk to the customer here, find out what our totals were. We'll see if we can beat a group room average of 1.5, giving it only half the time. Irvine Aircraft 9. Whoa, increase of 4x at least. 8. Okay, you went from a goose egg to 8. That's fantastic. Frequent flyers 7. All right, good.
Flyers 11.
Ooh, flyers get 11. So, again, a valuable prize. Oh my gosh. This group is going to be hard to handle a little bit later. Okay. So if we could have our pseudo customers maybe go around, purge the whip from the tables. I'll explain the ground rules for round 3. Okay, in this round, we're going to be emphasizing the leadership processes of communication and review. Okay, so in this particular case, you're going to use, again, similar to the last round, the first 5 minutes to basically plan, review performance, start to think about how you can improve your processes, and then utilize the last 5 minutes to actually produce the aircraft. In this particular case, since we are emphasizing communication, leadership communication, worker communication, communication processes across the board, unlimited communication is permitted during the entire round. So workers can talk to workers, and anybody can talk to anybody within your team. Okay? So looks like the whip has been purged, and we're ready to start our next round. 5 minutes for communication review, then at 5 minutes we're going to shift over to production. you have slightly less than 1 minute to, before the roll to commence production will occur. I also want to mention that the customer's location has shifted slightly. The customer is now over by the coffee and the food break table. So please be aware of that. The customer is still in the room. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're able to commence production. Unlimited communication is allowed. You've incorporated planning and added both communication and review in this cycle. Also, if you didn't hear it, I'll repeat it, that the customer has now moved and is now about 10 yards east of their current last location. Hey, you're lucky they're still in the same room. It looks like our customers are receiving their initial aircraft deliveries. Substantial improvement from the first round. Okay, at this point, half of your production time has been consumed. 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining. Remember that the customer must actually have received the aircraft onto their property for it to count in the production cycle. Okay, we are counting down on 1 minute left of production time. 20 seconds. Five seconds remaining. Okay, production has ceased. Okay. Some heroic efforts there at the last moment. Okay, let's get the let's come and give me your attention here, and let's talk about that last round. First round, basically we had chaos. Second round, we added in the concept of formal planning effort. This third round, we added in the additional aspect of review, communication. So let's get some thoughts on the group. We have a comment right there.
We
Okay.
We were real confident second round, thought we had our production process down and we wanted to really ramp it up, so we kind of switched up some roles and responsibilities and our defect rate went through the roof.
Okay. Okay.
Lack of training. We thought we had it down and we put the pedal to the metal and it didn't work.
Okay, it didn't work, but next cycle you're going to be focusing on improvement and refinement. So
That's correct.
the opportunity there. There's always the next inning. Okay, yes, another thought from the group. Well, one more thought. Yes, comment over there. Please keep it quiet.
We figured in this round we figured out, and I don't know how many we did, but where our bottlenecks were and rearranged. And one of the simple things was swapping a left-handed and a right-handed painter, actually.
Oh, okay, very good. And again, you were able to do that because you were allowed to have communication between the different people. Very good. Okay. Let's go ahead and have, let's see what the scores were. First round, we averaged about 2.5. This last round, we averaged 8.75. So, Mr. Customer, what did the Avengers, or what Irvine Flyers do this time around? 10 aircraft, okay? Very good. 14. That's impressive. How about the frequent flyers? 7 for frequent flyer. And how about the Flyers? How'd the Flyers do? 11? 11. Okay. Okay, so you made an improvement. Okay, you made an improvement. Round 4. Last round. It's your last opportunity.
Their reward.
Okay, their reward, yes. Okay, it's payday for the team.
Take 5 breaks. And $100,000 bonus.
Okay, $100,000 bonus. Love it. Okay, so round 4. This time is an opportunity for continuous improvement and workforce development. Things like sometimes you implement a change and hopefully you pilot it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You've learned something from it. Also, it's important to make sure everybody knows what the job is. You probably have a reasonable idea. Maybe you've spent, oh, could I have the Avengers, Avengers. Let's not jump the gun here. Okay, this is an opportunity for refinement, for improvement, and also make sure that everybody in the process knows the entire process. If the entire workforce knows the process, they're better able to contribute. Okay, same format as the last cycle. 5 minutes for discussion, talking about how we can make things better, improvement, training, making sure everybody is absolutely clear on every element of the production process, and then 5 minutes for production. Okay? So, with that, we're going to start. Start the clock. You have 5 minutes for improvement. Training. Okay, I have a little less than a minute to get ready for your production effort. Yeah, please make sure that your production areas are purged of all prior production efforts, whip, things like that. Okay, you have 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Okay, production can commence in 3, 2, 1. Get started. Yeah, please note that the customer is still in their last location, so they have not moved. Two minutes remaining. Okay, counting down to 1 minute remaining. Counting down to 30 seconds, and as a reminder that the aircraft must be received on the customer's property or airfield by the time the exercise is done. Ten seconds remaining. Counting down those last seconds. 5, 4, 3. Let's be safe. Okay, production's done. Customer's not going to receive any more aircraft to their field unless you're right on the perimeter. All right. Okay, let's focus your attention back up here, and we can debrief as a group while the customer's evaluating your production efforts. Okay, can I have everybody's attention? Everybody's attention, please. Okay, let's hear a couple comments about that last round. You've actually had 4 rounds to actually practice and employ the leadership process principles that we're talking about. The first five of the leadership processes. The first round, you actually had 10 total minutes of production, averaged out to 2.5 aircraft per team. A couple comments about this last round. What went well, what didn't go well? We have a mic over there. A couple comments about this last round where you employed continuous improvement and training everybody in the total operation. Yes?
Well, I think what really helped us on this round, cross-training. We were able to utilize everybody at the table, including that lazy manager that finally did something to help. So that helped out.
Excellent. So the manager actually learned the process as well. That's really a key observation there. Another thought or comment by the group. Have one over there.
One of the things that we realized is that the working process, because it didn't count to the count, didn't really do us any good to have it left on the table. So at 1 minute and 30 seconds left, we shifted so that we made sure that we ran out all of our WIP to meet our deadline.
Fantastic. Again, a great lean principle, and certainly had our focus been on this being a specific lean exercise, that would have been absolutely wonderful, but a great principle to employ.
This time around, we made sure everyone knew what a finished product was supposed to look like. We decreased our scrap quite a bit this round. I'm extremely proud of the group for the scrap decrease.
All right, very good, very good. So scrap decreased because of the fact that everybody knew what the production processes were all about. Another thought, a couple other thoughts before we get the results. Anyone else? Okay, it was kind of interesting watching you this particular cycle. A lot of good level of interaction. One thing that Michael and I had seen during the exercise too is the different delivery methods that some of you used. Some delivered in relatively small quantities. Others delivered in by the handful, which we have another term for. It's basically a batch. So I mean, in a very real sense, that represents the practice of the industry. Also, implementing a new technique and then encountering a higher reject rate because of that. Again, that was one of the teams experienced that. That's something that we find in the industry as well. Do we have a total, Mr. Customer?
Turbine aircraft, over here,
15.
15.
All right, very good. Excellent.
Team Avenger, 16.
16 for Team Avenger.
Frequent flyer, 12.
12. All right.
Flyer, 16.
16. All right. Okay, 16 aircraft, and the Avengers had 16. A tie. Yeah.
We actually win the contract because of our lower labor.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. The productivity per person in that team is superior. Although let's give the Flyers a hand. And then our number one team for this exercise is the Avengers. And their prize is a payday.
And 200 grand.
200 grand bonus for that group this round. Okay.
Does that work out to 2 aircraft per employee?
2 aircraft per employee. That looks like that would be approximately what it is. Yeah, good point. Okay, a couple closing remarks as we move along here. Okay, so we've basically explored the need for these first 5 leadership processes: planning, communication, review, continuous improvement, and workforce development. Those are all important. Leadership is really a key process. As Doug mentioned and pointed out, those great leaders from the past that we had earlier, those people know those people's names. They were great leaders. And from the industry side of the world, Jack Welch's name was mentioned. But there are lots of leaders and leadership systems in the industry that we really don't know who runs the organization. But they're very, very effective organizations, and they have very strong leadership systems. And that's really what this is about, is creating leadership systems. So we all know we have habits to break, but hopefully this exercise pointed out some of the specific needs that we have and reflect the real reality of the environment that we're working in, and really sets the stage for, at this leadership panel that we're going to have in a few minutes, to really discuss and bring to light some of the best practices associated with each of these leadership processes. Now, for those of you that follow along with the agenda and the timing that's printed in the pamphlet, we are ahead of schedule, and that is purposeful. One of the reasons is because we really want to have the leadership panel talk, and you have enough time to explore their ideas, their best practices, think about their presentations, ask some questions. So we're going to go to break here in a moment, and then you'll have a chance to basically we'll start the leadership panel up. So Michael, do you want to say any quick thoughts to close off this section?
Thank you, Brent. We need some sound, don't we? How's this? So we had a little bit of a temporary AV meltdown, but I think we've just about 100% backup, but it takes a few seconds or a few minutes to switch over. So we're going to put you on a break now. I am going to get that chart back up so you can see the progression of the teams, and we'll show it to you right after the break, okay? We just need a few minutes to get that back online and get that up. We were ready to show you the improvement that the teams made, and then all of a sudden the laptop crashed. I'd like to say it was a PC, but it was a Mac. What the heck? Everybody looked at it and said, that never happens. So our break is still 20 minutes, and it's just about 10 o'clock, I believe. It's about 4 minutes till. So if we could join you back here at 10:20, as Brent mentioned, we built the time in. We felt we needed more time for the leadership panel, so we're moving that 20 minutes into the leadership panel to make sure that you have plenty of time to interact with the different people that will be up here. For those of you who are panel members, he's got it. For those of you who are panel members, please join us just before 20 after so that we can get started right away. And looks like you've got all the scores back. Do you want to show us the chart? There's the chart with improvements, and I think the very end of it is round 4, but obviously experience weighs in, as it does in any organization. But what you did is you went through and implemented some planning, which helped you a great deal. And then, you started out in chaos. You implemented some planning, which helped you a great deal. Then you started reviewing, kind of PDCA. You reviewed what had gone on during the previous round and started communicating about what kind of improvements you could make, and you changed your system. So that's, if you look that up, that's 112 and 112 and 113 in the process maps for the processes for the roadmap. And then in the last round, you applied continuous improvement. You looked at the process and applied some improvements to it, and you also added some standardization and training, so that everybody was on track, and you eliminated some of your rejects by getting a little sharper on procedures and process and training of people to follow standard process. And so your reject rate went down. So you really went through the first 5 processes of the leadership system, and the results show that really does make a big difference. And I know it makes a difference to you if you're a worker. It makes life easier when those 5 processes are consistently in place. It also makes a big difference to the leader. So, it never fails to show in the results when you have a strong leadership system. That's why it's such a big part of our roadmap, and that's why it's such a big part of the Baldrige criteria as well. Everybody who's done this work for any period of time at all has identified the role of a leadership system. What we really tried to do so far this morning was illustrate that having a standard set of practices for leadership is essential to a high-performing company. You can't just go out on the floor and focus on operations and keeping machines running and expect your company to grow and prosper. You can't do that. You have to take time to build a strong leadership system, because that organizes and coordinates everybody's efforts, around a common purpose, a plan, some standard work. And if times get tough and you bypass that work of being a leader and having a leadership team and leadership processes, then your company suffers. And so if we've illustrated that through our exercise this morning, then we really appreciate Brent's help. And now Brent will come back and facilitate after the break the panel discussion. So enjoy your break, and we'll see you back at 10:20.